So I'm going to show you some nuance to doing a no-dig rail fence. This is a PVC or vinyl ranch rail fence, and there's some differences to how you install this versus a steel core vinyl privacy fence. So because instead of pickets, you just have rails, and it's shorter. So I'm going to show you a couple things to look out for that'll help you install with steel core, which is no dig, instead of doing the traditional dig a hole, cement, and post it that way or set it that way. All right, so first I got my post in here. It's a thick-walled galvanized post. It's slanted a little bit just because that happens. You have to send and bend. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bend it into place. I need to bend it towards me. So I've got this post bender makes it a whole lot easier. Instead of relying on the donut itself, I just rely on I bend the post into place. If you're DIYing this, you may need to buy a donut that has the adjustability on it. Instead, we'll drive it into place on the ground, and if it gets out of place, we will bend it into place like you see right here. I'll bend it that way. Then when I check my level, I need to make sure I take the weight off of it so I'm not interfering. And I'm perfectly level now. That's great. That was really easy. I need to move it a little bit back this way, just a bit. See what I got here. Yep, and I'm perfect. We're good to go. That was really easy. Now I'm going to set my donuts. Because these are pretty much, they're not, you don't have to adjust them laterally. There's a little bit, very slight amount of adjustability laterally. I actually take, this one comes with two nuts, one on each side. What I find is I actually like to take one of them out, because I'll use this one to press the post against the wall of this, and it cradles it and gets it really solid. So I'm going to slide this on. This one's going to be at the ground level. Again, this is ranch rail, so it's the need to go really, really low is not there, because the first rail is going to be up here, so that makes it a lot easier. I'm just going to get over here and visually line it up, make sure that we're in line with a straight post. You do this with one eye generally, and you'll have to get an eye for it. Sit back a little bit. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and there we go. Tighten that in. It is tight as can be. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing up here. So this is where it gets a little different, and you need to be careful. The way that these are set up, because it's essentially three rails, you're going to need to put the second donut in between the bottom and the second rail. So you want to get as far distance, you want to get as close to that second rail as you can without interfering. Let's see if I can show you here. We got ours down, right down there, and then we cut it off. So I'll show you that. That way the next two rails will go in a lot easier. The bottom rail is just going to be treated essentially just like the bottom rail on a privacy fence. So a safe height is going to be 32 inches. That's what I'm going to measure to. I'll measure 32 inches to the top of this thing, and that'll give us what we need. 32 inches to the bottom, or to the ground, right there, 32 inches. I'm going to hand tighten that just to keep it there. That'll let me keep it there, and then I can make my adjustments this way, which I'm going to do right now. Back. Got it. Straight enough for now. The good thing with vinyl is you do have a little bit of wiggle room on this. There we go. Boom. That is tight. Now, like, you don't have to worry about screwing holes in and stuff like that. You can back it out if you need to. It's a lot easier, and it's strong, really thick walled, so we really like this one. It makes the magnet, when we have to get it later, it makes the magnet a lot easier. In order to get a nice clean, to be able to get that second rail installed like the top rail, I'm going to cut off the top here with my bandsaw. So And now all we have to do, we're just going to be installing the bottom rail with this in the way, like your normal no-dig installation or steel core. And then the top, or the middle and the top one are going to be fine. All right, just slide this on. I'm not going to really attach it to the bottom. This is the end rail. This is the end post. So I'm going to slide this on here. These are really a lot tighter fit than the other ones I've seen. These fit really nice and snug. This is what you already probably know if you know about no dig and how to do this, but I'm just going to measure post to post. So I'm going to measure this measuring tape here. This is a magnetic one. It's going to stick to that pole inside of that post, the steel core here, and I'm going to measure to this other steel post. Right now I have about 94.5. I do that minus an inch. So I take the measurement between the steel posts on the inside, and then I deduct an inch, and that gives me my wiggle room, but allows me to make sure that both sides can set in and not fall out. And we'll get enough wiggle room with this post moving. So this is 94.5 minus 1, so that's going to be 93.5. I'm just going to have to take a half inch off of the bottom rail. You want to start by putting in the non-tab side so it doesn't lock in a way that you don't want it to. You're going to click it in the already set side over here. Get it all the way in. There we go, like normal. Okay, now you see pretty close here. I got my stiffener here. Now, the one thing I don't like about this rail fence, the black fence in particular, is that it shows scratches really easily. But I have this off so I can get my post in like that, right? So I'm gonna push it in like that, bring it up, and then pop it in. And there we go. It's really important here, so you don't get caught in a spot here, that you cut that post below the second rail. All right, so that the donut is right below there. See it? It's down in there. So we're going to screw to it. We're going to put a screw in there. You'll want to get black screws if you're doing the black vinyl, but or just match it. But this is important because otherwise it's funky. It gets really funky if you don't do this part. You can still make it work, but it's funky. So then the rest is just going to go like the top rail. You got two top rails. They do have stiffeners in them. These are 8-foot sections. They have stiffeners. I go in the spot that doesn't have another rail in it. And then bring it in. Right into the tab. Starting to rain. There we go. Perfect. Oh, the rain's going to help clean it up. This is our last section here. It's perfect. There we go. Get our tabs in. So that's how you do no-dig 3-rail or ranch rail. Now I'm going to have to adjust the heights, and that's going to be what you're normally used to. You're going to pound them down and everything, and then you're going to screw them to the posts. You're going to do the same thing like you normally do, except you're going to have one here and then one in the middle somewhere, depending on where that is. Use the magnet. You'll screw it to it. Then you'll have a beautiful, very long-lasting, non-wobbly ranch rail fence. If you need a fence in Charlotte, North Carolina area, go to fencemylawn.com or call 704-659-0356.